How did these 3 teenagers become radicalized? Why would British girls support an Islamist ideology that preaches jihad? I went to ask for answers from a young woman from the Midlands in her early 20s who was herself sucked into fundamentalism while at college and university. It started online.
It was on Facebook. I was just approached one day online by him and he said, "You're very attractive." I must have been around 17, 16 at the time. He said, "Well, now's your time to cover that beauty because you're so precious." It was bordering on harassment. You already believe in God. You already believe in heaven and hell. And someone says you will end up in hell if you don't do this. It could probably have been the best way I could have been targeted. And it did work.
But with fear comes a lure. We know the self-styled Islamic State isn't averse to advertising its fighters' physical charms to attract young women whose interactions with the opposite sex have often been almost non-existent. Aisha wasn't ogling IS jihadis, but their earlier incarnations in Al-Qaeda in Iraq and Al-Shabaab in Somalia.
As a teenager, I wanted to get my piece of eye candy, and I'd take a good look. And all the YouTube videos, for some reason, they were all really, really attractive. It was glamorous in the sense it was like, oh wow, I can get somebody who practices the same religion as me, who's not necessarily from my ethnicity, and that's exciting. It was like the unknown. You'd see on Facebook a page of a new guy who'd martyred himself abroad, and it was like, oh my gosh, I saw that person not long ago in another video, and now he's dead. It was really bizarre. It was like, get with him before he dies.
That was the message?
Yes, and then when he dies as a martyr, you'll join him in heaven.
The sister is told to have hijab, and the brother is not, because the sister has that attraction.
Anwar al-Awlaki was someone Aisha was told to watch online. The recruiter who found her on social media and introduced her to fundamentalist Salafism soon had her looking at the Al-Qaeda propagandist sermons, as well as going to her local mosque to hear others talk. Awlaki specialised in radicalising Muslims in the West. He was in email contact with the American soldier who killed 13 others at Fort Hood and is reported to have met one of the Charlie Hebdo killers back in 2011, just before Awlaki himself was killed by an American drone.
When he was killed, it was a massive shock.
What did it make you think?
At the time, I was very saddened because I thought we'd lost a good leader.
Did you ever get the sense from any of the people, the preachers, the people you were associating with, that they were pushing you towards martyrdom, towards jihad, towards criminal acts?
They did touch on martyrdom being a positive thing. So it was sort of like, you're a martyr. You're a warrior for the religion. I do strongly believe that it did probably end up encouraging a lot of young males in the city to end up becoming a part of that.
As to why 3 British girls would feel so alienated they'd leave for Syria, Aisha's account of how she was told to view this country is perhaps illuminating.
In some of the sermons, we were encouraged that we shouldn't identify ourselves as British. I think that came with the fact that, well, this is a kuffar nation. This is a nation that has killed many Muslims, and this is a nation which is our enemy. You don't trust the state, you don't trust the police, you don't send your children to state schools, you send them to Islamic schools, you homeschool them. The Salafs and the Wahhabis have a belief that Britain will eventually become a Sharia state.
What did they used to say about non-Muslim women, about British women?
It's sort of mocking them. It's sort of looking at them and saying, this is disgusting. They're practically like men. I was being told that actually you should be the obedient one. You should be the one to just stay at home. You should be the one that should look good and smell good. So although I could see when the sect I was following was trying to encourage equality between men and women within the religion, but I also saw where it was also doing no justice to women at all. That was the fundamental thing, alongside this whole idea that you have to go and kill someone that's non-Muslim. They were the 2 main things that deterred me away from it.
So what would her old associates think of Mohammed Emwazi, Jihadi John?
They'd look at him as an idol. They'd definitely consider him a role model and somebody that is another martyr. that's been fighting in their name, for them and for their people. So yes, he is someone they would be really proud of.